Lesson 8. Prepositions of place. Prepositions of place. Prepositions are words that typically come before a noun or pronoun to show its relationship to another word in the sentence. Prepositions of place are words used to describe the location or position of objects, people, or things in relation to other objects or places. Some common prepositions include at, above, below, in front of, behind, over, and outside. The preposition at is used to refer to a specific point or location rather than an area or larger space. It is commonly used for places, addresses, events, and specific positions, providing clarity and precision in describing the location of something or someone. Ryan works at the hospital. In this sentence, the preposition at indicates a specific location where the subject performs their work. It specifies that the hospital is the place where Ryan performs his work duties. They are at the football stadium. In this sentence, the preposition at is used to indicate a specific location. It denotes that they are physically present in or around the area of the football stadium. The preposition above is used to indicate that one object is at a higher level than another object, but they are not in direct contact. Above suggests that there is space between the two objects or levels. Above can also be used to refer to a higher quantity, amount, or level. The boy flew his toy airplane above the trees. In this sentence, the preposition above is used to show that the toy airplane was in the air at a position that is higher than the tops of the trees. The airplane flew above the clouds. In this sentence, the preposition above describes the airplane's location relative to the clouds, meaning that the airplane is at a higher altitude and not touching or within the clouds. The preposition below is used to indicate that something is at a lower level or position in relation to another object or place. Below is used when one thing is directly lower than another, but not necessarily in direct contact. Below is often used to compare the height or level of two objects. It can also indicate a lower position in a hierarchy, level, or scale. The temperature dropped below freezing. In this sentence, the preposition below is used to indicate a position or condition that is lower or less than something else. In this case, the temperature dropped to a level that is lower than the freezing point of water. The river flows below the bridge. In this sentence, the preposition below indicates the spatial relationship between the river and the bridge. It denotes that the river is positioned at a lower level or underneath the bridge. The preposition in front of is used to indicate that one object is positioned forward or ahead of another object when looking from a specific direction. This preposition helps establish the spatial relationship between two objects, emphasizing the positioning where one is situated forward relative to the other. Kyle stood in front of the mirror. The preposition in front of indicates the position of Kyle relative to the mirror. In this sentence, it means that Kyle positioned himself so that the mirror is directly ahead of him, possibly facing it or standing close to it. James sat in front of Keith in the class. In this sentence, the preposition in front of indicates the spatial relationship between James and Keith. Specifically, it means that James was positioned ahead of Keith within the classroom setting. The preposition behind is used to indicate that something is located at the back of another object or place. Behind indicates that one object is positioned at the back of another object when looking from a specific direction. If B is positioned such that it is at the back of A when looking from a specific direction, we say B is behind A. He parked his bike behind the tree. In this sentence, the preposition behind indicates the location of the bike relative to the tree. It means that the bike is positioned on the far side of the tree from the speaker's point of view, or obscured by the tree when looking from the opposite side. Elena is hiding behind the bush. In this sentence, the preposition behind indicates the position of Elena relative to the bush. It shows that Elena is located at the back side of the bush, out of sight from the front or another perspective. The preposition over can be used to indicate various relationships in terms of place. We use over when something is positioned at a higher level than another object or point. Over can also denote movement or position across a surface or from one side to another. The boy jumped over the hurdle. In this sentence, the preposition over indicates the direction and path of the boy's jump relative to the hurdle. It specifies that the boy's movement was such that he passed above the hurdle, from one side to the other. He is climbing over the fence. In this sentence, the preposition over indicates movement from one side of the fence to the other, typically involving going up one side and down the other. The preposition outside is used to indicate a location that is not inside a particular area or enclosure. It specifies that something or someone is not within the confines of a building or enclosed space. Outside can also indicate that something is beyond the boundaries or limits of a defined area. The worker is standing outside the convenience store. In this sentence, the preposition outside indicates the location where the worker is standing. It specifies that the worker is not inside the convenience store but rather in the area or vicinity surrounding it. The motorcycles are displayed outside the shop. In this sentence, the preposition outside indicates the location where the motorcycles are displayed. It specifies that the motorcycles are not inside the shop but rather in the area surrounding the shop.